if I went out in the sun would cause my arms to break out in a rash. So I had to use long sleeve shirts and avoid the sun. And I still tend to do that as well.
Took high calcium, really high calcium, because from the sun, because it the basophilo, yeah, this stuff which makes a rash from the sun. If you take a lot of calcium, this basophile granulocyten, they don't crash then, because this calcium stops it. You can try it. It's just for the sun, not the other stuff. But if you say in the sun it's bad, then you can try it. Really high, not this tablets from the supermarket, really high calcium. You can try if you want, if you are, yeah.
What is it again you were talking about? I didn't understand. Yeah, calcium, but in what?
When you're told, when you're in the sun, when you're exposed to the sun.
But in a drink, you mean? You mentioned getting it. Where do you get your calcium?
Yeah, I get my mother years. It's 40 years ago when I go with my mother, she had always these pimples, these red pimples in the sun, and many people have this. And this is the exposure from the sun, and it's a special, I cannot explain it in English, they called basophile granulocyten, and they put out this histamine, yeah? And you can stop it if you really use, no, in the sun, I don't think that it helps so, but they, it stops this this pang of the basophilum granulocyten, this yeah, it's just a tip. If you're often in the sun, if you make holidays, then you can try it. Really high calcium. Then I know you have this problem. It's more from the brain, from your stress. But if you tell me that the sun made a reaction too, you can try this one. Well, many people have these problems, and really high calcium is perfect for the sun exposure, that you don't get this. Yeah, it's normal.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, calcium's essential in the skin. I think Mr. Keshe has shown that in his teachings.
Yeah. Yeah, I use, I don't use anything. Yeah, I don't, no cream, no, and I just make since I'm with Keshe, I make all my stuff by myself. I made my plasma soap special and whatever, and it's the only stuff I take, and I don't cream. But it's here, zinc cans, no way. It's get more worse than ever. Do you have it in the face too?
Not really, but my neck will break out sometimes. Certain circumstances. Again, the sun makes a difference there too. Yeah. Anyway,
yeah. Okay.
Let's move along here. Perhaps
you can make ZNO2.
Yeah, me. Yeah. I do. What do you think?
Not ZNO.
You see, CO2.
ZNO2.
Both. I tried both, but yeah, Keshe said in some teachings that for this skin problems is zinc special. But I tried everything. Yeah. Believe me.
Zinc is usually really good. Yeah, zinc helps my skin. Absolutely, it'll calm down any itching immediately.
Code word.
Hello, I hear a voice. That's not a recording. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Hi, good morning. Listen, if you're using zinc or things for the skin, you need to use the amino acid with it. You can't just use a zinc.
Yeah, sure.
So you have to make sure you use the right amount of amino acid with the ratio of the zinc you use. Without it, it's just an element. To connect it to the amino acid of the body, you have to use the amino acid with it.
I do.
If, yeah, and it always gives you the answer. But secondly, you have to find out if you're producing the right amino acid for the right purpose.
Yeah, I have different zinc. My whole flat is full of ganses, and I have really 5 zinc ganses special. And I tried this, and I tried CO2 only. But yeah, since 2 years.
What are you trying to do? What is the problem?
Yeah, one problem is my skin. I have not. These are not. Yeah, like pimples, like acne. I had already since 2 years a very good skin, and suddenly I have many problems. I have this brain, this hypophysis adenoma. Maybe the hormones are out of order, whatever. Since 2 years, I have no. This is not acne. It's no this bacterial yellow stuff. It's just bleeding, and I must open it because when I don't open it, it stays there, and sometimes I have to open it. And I stand for one.
Yeah, but if I don't want to give medical information, but scientifically, when you have like anything to do with sterilizing, we use it extensively for the hospital application. You have to bring in elements of copper with amino acid of copper. When you introduce amino acid of copper and copper, we very small percentage. We use it in the soaps. The soaps we sell, some of the soaps carry this as a disinfectant soap. We're going to launch a soap very soon from Tehran, which has these characteristics. So if you see this kind of cleansing, just because you use zinc doesn't mean that it's just for. If you use a zinc water on its own, your skin goes dry. If you use amino acid of zinc with the zinc in the soap, you get the soft, smooth skin.
What do I do? Sorry?
You get a soft, smooth skin. The skin becomes smooth.
Yeah, it does.
If you have you see, now you're dealing with a different thing. When it comes to bacteria or that kind of thing, then you're dealing with living elements which have a copper in it, which has a connection with the copper.
No, it's no infection. It's just bleeding.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you see it, you have changed something in one layer of your skin. You understand? Somewhere in the skin where it is, you have changed the salt content of your middle skin. That's why you get these things. So that salt content is just like you're putting a salt on the wound. So the wound gets more irritated, more infection is created. The problem is not an infection, you see, it's the salt content you change in the middle layer for whatever reason.
Okay.
And the only way to do it is to get that salt out or to handle it if it's an infection by the skin. If it's an infection by the skin, you use that. If you have a salt layer change, then you have to use a gas of salt with amino acid. The layer in your body has changed. Your body is converting something to a grain of dust, a fat, and that inside your skin rubs because your skin is flexible, irritates, creates infection. It's literally like when you get your hair back into your skin. You know, when you get the hair in and you get infection, it's the same thing. Maybe it's a hair, your hairs are turning in, they don't come out. You have to look for it. Yeah,
it's in my eyebrows too,
Yeah, it's your hair, maybe by change of age, are turning in. They change their characteristics, and then with the men we go gray. With women, you get a different texture, and that's where the problem is.
maybe I have this hypophysis adenoma. That means I have several adenomas in my hypophysis, and you know, it's all hormones, and sometimes too much, sometimes too less, and maybe it has something to do.
Are you the pre or after full menopause? That's the question.
Are you? Sorry?
Are you in the pre-menopause or after menopause? Are you in menopause?
Yeah, I'm 50. I think.
Yeah. When did it start?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
This is it's a pre-menopause, so the structure's changing in the body. You cannot do a lot with it because now the skin changes from smooth to what I call the saggy condition. And that brings layers lying over each other. This is part of the process.
Yeah, but I have never seen this. I'm medical, and it's not, I told you, one, and I have a lot of, I look, everyone is thinking, oh my God, what's with her? For one pimple, I stand, it's not this yellow one. For the bleeding, I stand 1 hour for the mirror and must bleed out, and I have no energy. I have this, yeah.
You have, you got to look at something else. It's most probably to do with something else.
Yeah.
You have to look somewhere deeper, because these kind of pimples we see with acne with young children, teenagers, but that comes again from the expansion of the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Acne is actually created by the expansion of the skin. What do you call it? And you cannot do much of that with it. It's just that till the salt content in the middle layer changes. The same thing happens when you go the other way.
Okay.
But you have to find out there is a lot of things you have to look into it to stabilize it.
Yeah, I want to come to Linz, but I'm not able because I have this, I cannot come to Linz, but I ordered 5 of this, here, telephone.
Mobile systems.
Genau, yeah, right. And I heard Stefania told yesterday, and some women told the one had herpes in the face. He couldn't touch the face, and it's over. Stefania had something rushes in the face, and it was over. And I heard all this, and this is for me. Oh, maybe it works too. And so now I'm.
Yeah, but we see a lot of. We don't report the medical application. People can tell what has happened. We can repeat it, but we cannot tell this is what it is. You understand?
I understand. I told you.
But we see a lot of change. Yesterday we had 4 doctors from Italy with us, and what they've seen, to them is unbelievable. We have people with other conditions. They report coming out, all the pains and everything is gone. We had yesterday a lady who had a problem with the knees and comes out and says there's nothing can touch it. We don't report the medical application, but we see a lot of things which is happening. Sure,
and that I want to do is, sure, you cannot, it's not a health unit, but for me, I'm so glad that this, this second with this glasses and the handy is coming, because, Andreas told me he will bring me to Linz or Jaco, but it's not possible for me. I have
what do you mean, why? You can't fly? Where are you? Where are you based?
I'm in Munich. It's just, but really, I cannot go with my dog, my neighbor. I have no energy. I stay in my house, in my flat since 2 years. I was sportive. I was really, but
have you been checked for anything else?
Checked? You mean with the doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
What do you do? What have you done? What do you do for life, for living? Or what's your occupation?
You mean now, yes, since I'm ill, or before?
Before.
before I was self-employed, and I loved my sports. I'm always, because I have no enough here neurotransmitter. That means I always have these extreme sports because I never was really lucky. So I have done it, but some 10 years ago, my back.
If you're in Munich, I can send my driver and the car to pick you up if they help you. I can send a taxi from Linz to pick you up. I don't know how much it'll take, but I'll speak to our people if we can get organized to bring you in. But it will not be done till the second week of July, because next week we are not available.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, Munich to us is
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Yeah,
I know.
Sometimes I know. I go there every now and then. Let me speak with our team, and we try to sort out a taxi service or something to bring you, send the driver to pick you up.
Jaco told me he will take me. Jaco will come again. He would take me up, or Andreas Fugger. He told me he would take me up too. Okay, I'm afraid because sometimes.
Let me speak to Klaus.
Okay.
We have, if we can sort out a driver to pick you up and come back, we send a taxi driver to bring you back. We don't know how much it'll cost, or we organize something for you. Let me speak to Klaus today.
Yeah, price is no problem because it's my life, and I told you I have booked 6 of this, but it's later on, and I would really try it. I heard so much good things. Okay, it's no.
Let me. I'm gonna be in this the next hour or so.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I speak to Klaus and see what we can. What's your name, please?
Stephanie Winter.
Stephanie, can you repeat?
Winter, wieder Winter. Like
Winter, Winter. Yeah, Mrs. Winter. I know, we've been talking about you.
Yeah, we talked.
Okay.
And I'm good with Mario. We know each other very good.
Yeah. I'll try to sort out, we try to get you a driver to pick you up or find a transport for you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, we'll try to sort. Then you don't need to rely on somebody to pick you up when they come. Let me see what I can do. I'll come back to you with it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Danke. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I just came here to listen.
Well, that was a beautiful exchange there, actually. And I think if anyone could use that that process, that would be her.
Something I know Jalal is here, and he's going to kill himself with it. But Jalal, I have a very bad news for you, or maybe good news for you. I know you're working with the others on this Maghreb system. Keshe Foundation, maybe tomorrow, will offer openly the freestanding Maghreb units for energy for cars. If you have a hybrid car or electric car, you don't need to charge. Maybe by tomorrow, we'll offer the generator we promised to be delivered. And we can deliver immediately. So I know Jalal is working hard on it, but we most probably will announce it in tomorrow's teaching. We're just waiting for the last bits to put together. So what we said was a freestanding generator, at least for cars, electric cars, and hybrid cars will be offered tomorrow. With the rise in the fuel costs, you can cover it. And then the same with, what do you call it, with the freestanding generator. There will be food charts that have 5,000 people. And we deliver immediately. We can deliver between 20 to 50 a week at the moment, and then we raise it to about 100 a day for the next 2 weeks.
Your voice is fading out a bit there, Mr. Keshe. You were saying you can deliver up to how many again?
We can deliver immediately about 20 to 50 a week, immediately from next week. It's already been built, and then go up to about 100 a week, and then increase it further. But tomorrow we announce you can literally, people who buy it can immediately receive it within a few days.
Mr. Keshe, that is a very, very good news. It's absolutely, it's not bad. It's very good news. And I will find something else to pull the foundation leg to bring it out.
Yes, indeed. That's very big news. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. It'll be interesting to see how that works out in the workshop. Will we be hearing from testimonials of the space travel simulations as well? Oops, Mr. Keshe just dropped. I think he was having trouble with the microphone there, so maybe
Yes.
he'll come back, hopefully.
What, it was open, but we weren't hearing anything.
Yeah. That was a nice visitation. Quite a surprise. And some surprising news as well.
If he come back and I am not here, just tell him. Jalal say that is very good news if he didn't hear it. So
Yeah.
I can search for another something to bring out.
Yeah, I understood what you said about pulling the leg there.
Well, he had talked about this self-charging chip he's been carrying around in his pocket for the last 40 years or more. And how he could have sold it to the cell phone companies, the car companies, and what have you. Probably the computer companies as well, but I guess it just wasn't time for releasing. And now it sounds like this is, in a way, that.
Well, perhaps we can blame Canada for changing Mr. Keshe's direction in a way. He was, about to market some products, some GANS products that he was taking to, I think, to Brazil or perhaps South America somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And on his stopover from Europe to South America in Toronto, Canada, I think it was in 2010. Does that make sense? I think so. Yeah, they detained him for 11 days, not hours, but 11 days. And took his GANS materials and tested them, and at the end of it, handed them back to him and said, "You're on your way back to Europe." So that's what changed his life in many ways. And that set him up to say, well, screw you, basically. I'm going to make everything I do public and available to people.
Yes, and it was more dramatic than that, Rick, as you probably know. He just wasn't detained having tea and crumpets. He was threatened every day.
Yes, and
his family as well.
His family as well, yeah. And not knowing what's going to happen to you when you're being threatened and so on, and isolated. Not told to talk, you're told not to talk to people and whatnot. So, but that made a really deep impression on him, and we can thank the the good Canadian government for doing all that. And I guess the American government was involved too, no doubt, because that's what they do. They make arrangements between each other to intervene when they like to pull off a scientist or somebody else they would like to have a extra close look at. And, you know, it's kind of like the way it's been done for quite a while. But they should realize the implications of doing such a thing when you do that to someone that's as determined as Mr. Keshe. You just set the dragon on fire. You just tickled the tail of the dragon, and you know that shortly after that, I think that's part of him releasing his patent to the world, and then the key, the USB key with the additional information and patent information and so on, released to all the embassies of the world. And he's been doing his best to get us to adopt this technology.
And he's back with his mic open, Rick.
All righty. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
Hey, sorry, I had a call. I had to answer.
Okay.
No, but we now will launch the freestanding generator hopefully tomorrow. If we're happy with the final stage of it. But the charger for the cars, that you don't need to charge the cars, will be launched tomorrow. We'll market it tomorrow morning in the teaching. And delivery is immediate. We don't need to wait. We structure it and we ship it out immediately because we have all the facilities, everything is with that. This is what I told everyone for years. This is how you do it. Nobody did it, so I went and I did it myself. Now it's done. And it'll come out next week or so. We can deliver the first units.
Well,
It'll change the game.
Yes, that certainly will.
Arizona is ready to go into production with John. Hopefully, will bring us a lot of good work. And something to John earlier today. We are ready to reestablish. We have all the materials in Arizona to launch for US backing. We'll see what comes up. But we will deliver the first generation of what we call power supplies, hopefully, the data and everything else. All the units are made. We just going to the last phase of this. And we're ready to launch it. The main thing is for the fuel car expenses, which is now gone up double and nearly going to 2.5, 3 times more to be covered. And all the units are made and ready to be delivered.
Mr. Keshe,
yes.
Any idea on the cost of these units?
€5,000.
Thank you.
If you drive a car today, your bills are doubled in the past 6 months. And average household is spending $50 to $100 or euro per week on fuel costs. Now, in 1 year, we'll pay for it. And we deliver immediately. It's not going to be just the way we set up now the production. We can deliver straight away. I know Jalal's team is working in the background trying to do some wireless jobs and other things, which is beautiful what they're doing. But in principle, we will go out tomorrow in the market for delivering the first sustainable system for the hybrids for electric cars.
He said to tell you he's very,
Pardon?
Jalal said to tell you if he couldn't come back right now, he was very pleased, but he's going to find another thing to pull the foundation's leg.
What do you mean?
Well, to get you to
No,
more.
no, it's I'm looking at what they are doing. They've done a beautiful job. They're doing different than what we do. I watch what Jalal team is doing. They got into what you call wireless section, which is going to be the future for it, and how they are doing it. But interim, meanwhile, we do it this way, and then we'll see what comes, because the enhancement units, the flight enhancement unit, what you call systems now are going on a wireless. Your next generation, 2 months' time, will be totally wireless. So we are not exclusivity. We are part of the inclusive knowledge. But the new microwave systems for hybrids and cars tomorrow will be offered immediate delivery. But we have restriction of 50 units per week, and we have to back it up with time. So we initially offered 3,000 units tomorrow to do it between 50 to 100, and we track record everything that who receives what they receive and everything else. So tomorrow we expect we are in game to bring that change. We are ready. And it's not something we're going to produce, it's already immediately this week, we can deliver it by Friday.
Yes, that's really, really good news, Mr. Keshe. That's amazing.
We always said, if you use the magnet the right way, you get the results. So I had to get our technicians and developers to work on it past 3 months, and they got the results. It's exactly how we said it.
And Mr. Keshe, it's already in the store.
It'll be put up tonight. We hope we can get it in the store tonight. We'll know by next one. And you can order for 1 unit. And we are limited to 3,000. We don't want to go with 3,000. And then we assess the performance, and then we offer another 3,000, which means by Christmas we deliver 3,000. If John goes into operation and China goes into operation, we can do 3,000 a month. But realistically, this is what we can do.
At one point, Mr. Keshe, you said we were going to leapfrog over the electric car. Is this sort of an interim period?
In a way, there are a lot of factors when we put this into electric cars. There are a lot of factors involved. We have to see how field interaction comes into it. How do the cars react in performance and like a flight condition? Because it's a field generator. You have to see how it interacts. Because most of the time, what you saw people use in Magna for cars, reduction was primarily through reduction in the weight and reducing power. We'll see. Tomorrow we offer 3,000 units out. We limited it. We do it by Christmas as it comes, placed per order, and we'll see what comes up. But we're going on at 5,000 euro for electric cars. And it's a small unit. You just put it in the boot of the car.
Thank you in advance for all those who will order.
We'll see, because now the production line is set up. We don't have a problem. Before, we had a lot of things. Now we have 2 production lines in 2 countries that we can package up. So we might even go up to about 50 to 100 a week, which is better. 20 weeks we can do maybe 300, because we have some materials in Arizona, which now John has to move to Mexico to be built. This is a good thing with all the investments we've done, all the things we set up, allows all these things to happen very rapidly. We don't need to go, look, it's just we are in-house and we do it in-house. But I'll check if we can do the, what do you call it, the opening of the sales. If you look, the unit for simulation has been put out for Singapore for a full flight package for 25 million. Last week in the store. We cut both sides.
Well, this will also take some relief off the generating plants. I know they're even talking about going back to coal because of the high prices and so on. And I know what you said about the cars and the generating plants. It's just putting the fuel into a different, bigger tank, sort of.
Yeah, but now tomorrow we will offer this out and we put out and see how we take it and how it goes. It's something the knowledge has been on the table from the beginning, but nobody listened. So now I sat with the team step by step, collections, everything needs to be done, and see the result. The most amazing thing is when we look at it, talking to the team in the past few days. Usually, let's say if you charge a battery, you need 30 amp or whatever. With this new technology, the battery asks for less amperage, but it charges itself to full power. It's a smart application. So it brings a lot of things. We're just checking, and the last checks before we go into it, and we release it in public. But we guarantee 3,000 to be built by the 2 factories. So we did delivery, maybe Mexico coming to operation. So Mark Ray will use the backup because it's owned by Mark Ray in Mexico. And we announce it that the Mark Ray will produce license and Keshe the power systems. Those of you who have the shares in it, you see it going up. We have already announced license agreement with Mexico and with Market, so we will start the production.
Is that what you meant in the new tomorrow video that Lisa made? We'll see if Adam will get from the apple of love. Thank you.
You see Rick, you show that will come to your meetings.
We appreciate it. Although we're having a bit of a hard time understanding some of your words, as the sound isn't very clear today.
Yeah, we are traveling in the
Right. Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow what we'll release. With we are ready to go, and everything else with it is ready to go.
Very good. We look forward to that.
Thank you very much.
I think with the audio video system being smoothed out in lengths with the connection we were testing earlier today, it sounds like you have a plan or some sort of things that are going to be happening live, perhaps. I know when Klaus went into the fields in the first exhibition center, he couldn't hear you or you couldn't hear him. Dean was walking around in certain areas today testing to see if his audio would come through. So I was thinking maybe there's something happening in the arena, or you're getting ready to stage a few things.
I don't know what Dean is doing with you lot. It's the first time I hear about it.
It sounded like he had it smoothed out pretty well today, right, Rick?
Where with what? With
Just with
KFT Live?
just with an audio feed from the from Linz, basically.
One Planet, One Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were most probably testing.
Yeah, he was just testing the audio, and as I mentioned to him, it might change once you start broadcasting. It actually the connections could be different, so that's where the true test comes in.
Yeah, we had a problem last week. The minute we switched to your account, they lost it, and then they had to go and find it. But they were told we can class and sort this with it. A lot of things has been done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand the sound system's basically rebuilt, so we'll see how it goes.
Yep, let's see how it applies and how it goes. Anyway, we'll see it, but there's no plan today. We have another, I think, 10, 12 people, and then we stop for about 2 weeks. We come back after 2 weeks. And we'll see how everything shapes up.
Okay. Well, we had Dirk with a hand up here earlier. Perhaps we can hear what he had to say, whether it's still relevant or whatever. Here, go ahead, Dirk.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Come closer.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little weak, but go ahead. I think you'll be all right.
Okay. We had just a test here in university in Münster, Germany, with sound frequencies, and with 13,000 kilohertz, there was total chaos, and with other frequencies, there were structures. So my question is, with Keshe technology, we can build material. So how long would it take to build, let's say, a skyscraper with 200 floors when the plan is already made?
Asking Chinese, they do 1 floor every 3 days.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, thank you.
There is a discussion going on with Keshe Foundation and some construction organizations. We kept away from something you will hear most likely by next Tuesday in an international conference where Keshe Foundation I become one of the honorary members of one of the largest projects in Europe
Perfect.
in the construction and building. So wait till it's publicly announced. It's already in public, but not many people know. But will be done next Tuesday. We'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, does anyone else have any questions or comments here? Or something you'd like to present? We still have a couple things in the chat here, I guess, with Steph has a link she put in about this. Oh, I see. It's all in German. It's it looks like the excuse me, HHO generator, or whatever you would call it. It appears to be it's got a hydrogen outlet and a pure water inlet and an oxygen outlet. Yep, so it's...
You said you're going to ask Mr. Keshe about the interstitch of the body.
After that. How are you?
I find Mr. Keshe. So, Mr. Keshe, you are teasing me all the time, huh?
No, you're working. I'm keeping an eye on what you're doing. I see your communications and the sets you set, that you're setting up. It's a beautiful work.
Now I'm going to think about something else.
No, you have to finish what you're doing.
Yes, I know that. The group will kill me.
Yeah, you have to finish what you started. It looks good. I've seen the pictures of the setup. It looks very good. So you're in the right track.
Oh my God! After 1 year now, this is the first time you're saying you are on the right track.
You're always on the right track. It's just that you take too long.
It's not me, my dear. You know, it's not me. I'm not alone.
It's the age.
Yes.
It takes time. No, but we hopefully open this after years now. What offering it? We still, I think, in a matter of 2 or 3 months, be able to deliver at least between 300 to 400, maybe 1,000 by end of the year a week units out. But I'm sure once we release it, there's going to be a lot of duplication and a lot of people will go with it.
That's very good news, Mr. Keshe. That's beautiful news, really.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to see how we're doing, but other problems we have to solve today and tomorrow. But if we can manage to get to it, we'll try to do it and get it finished.
Can I ask about this interstitial water and the water in the vessels? In medicine, you learned there is this sodium potassium pump, and you learned it in every study, whatever, years long. And now 2 weeks ago, I have read that it's nothing true. It's is not working like so. And I have to think about your, yeah, what do you think, how do you would call it? The plasma transport
You
in the vessel.
see, what we have a problem with the old science
Yeah.
is because somebody did and somebody said and there was no answer. So they did the research directly into that way to confirm it. And the result has to become to be doesn't make sense. The potassium sodium gate is something which is acceptable. It is actually acceptable in a way. But in an energy plasmatic condition, not in a matter state condition. When the world of science brings the world of medicine into the gas condition and publishes papers, then we are real. At the moment, they don't know the body is in the state of gas and they do everything in a matter state. So they have to come up with a fallacy. You cannot run a car and then talk about a horse and how you feed the horse. You know, we have so many horsepower in the cars now. We have 100 horsepower for it. It makes me laugh. How can you compare a metal mechanical system to animal power? We haven't moved. And we have that problem in the human body. In the human body, we have a gas where we talk about the matter state, sodium, potassium. If we speak about the plasma, sodium, potassium, everything changes. We look at it a different way. There is an exchange, has to be exchange for any motion. And one of the first questions we asked was, how come always stays in potassium and sodium? They don't answer it. But now we know everything is in the plasma condition. It's kept in a sack. It's kept in the environment. And it's like two magnets. It's like infinity loop. In trying to balance, that's what happens. But when it comes to cell movement, it's thousands of cells have to work to bring that balance. It's a big difference game.
Also you say it's a balance, like a semi-permeable, you know, semi-permeable shield that is balanced too, or?
Yes, but you have to understand balance in the matter state, the balance in the plasma state.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Okay, okay, thank you.
There is not that there's no balance because you see, for example, with the herpes, our scientific team in university has confirmed what percentage of material needs to be used to get the maximum effect. Papers are getting written in the university, they publish them. But if you talk about this in the world present world, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense whatsoever. And now we understand that the herpes moves along the skin layers into the brain.
Yeah.
You try to explain to somebody this is what it does. It doesn't do. Now we can do. Now we see it. It's been tested on humans.
Yeah.
Clinical trials started in the university.
Yeah, it was very interested with the herpes and the Alzheimer.
We hopefully announce, if we sign the agreements today, that the first Keshe Foundation clinic in conjunction with doctors will operate from next week or two in Europe. So if we reach an agreement, we can actually go to two clinics in Europe, where you can receive directly processes with the Keshe Foundation technology.
You have in Germany some clinical professors?
in-
or-
No. This is a medical centers. You can go
Okay.
to medical centers, hopefully. If we come to the arrangement, we should know by today, tomorrow. Then you can actually go to clinics on a trial basis, but whatever.
Yeah.
And cases like fibromyalgia, autism, Alzheimer's, and one or two other things, which means technologies provided by the Keshe Foundation and applied by the doctors in a clinical large scale business.
And it's not the wellness center I heard in South South Germany, Augsburg, whatever. There should be opened. The room was booked, but yeah, this would be a wellness center and not a clinical, or?
No, that one, Keshe Foundation is involved in a different way in Germany. But this is not in Germany. We'll announce it if we sign the agreements next few days. We'll announce it. We have the same process. We have come to an agreement with South America. Keshe Foundation in the next few weeks will announce operation of starting from January or 15th of December, I think. Operation in clinics in South America.
Mm-hmm.
We have already made that. We are moving in a different way. We've become providers of technology, and the service providers in the front will deliver.
Wow.
So it's a totally different way of working, which gives us to develop technology monetarily expand.
Yeah. And are the European doctors and whatever, they are open for this, or is it?
Yes, this is a
Yeah?
team of doctors. These are two clinics with tons of European doctors.
Okay, super.
So we will announce it in conjunction with the center. We had a meeting with them in the recent past. If the contract is signed, we can actually book to Keshe Foundation to go to the clinics.
Okay, thank you. Here as a shop, I ask. I have ordered 2 years ago this silver suit. What do you think about it? With the Gans?
You got it?
No, I got it not. I ordered 2 days ago.
So there's it's a stock is which the stock is in. The goods are in the stock will be shipped this week, next week.
Not buy. I should. Yeah, this one. Right. You think no?
I don't know what you want to use it for.
Yeah. I try everything, you know.
Let's see, but it should be shipped immediately because it's in the stock in Linz.
Yeah.
Before we had the stock in China and everything had to go to China from China. Now we shipped half of the stock from China into Linz, so it's easy.
And I can buy it in Linz.
Yeah.
Okay, then I return. But I have the soaps too. I made my soaps by myself. I told you I have no chemical in my face or hair. I just make my Gans soaps by myself. But now I ordered your soaps. Maybe they work in another way or better because
These are handmade for us in China. Iran Keshe Foundation will soon, next few 2-3 months, to release the new soap products of Keshe Foundation.
Jalal's,
already seen the prototypes.
is it Jalal's wife? He told his wife is always making soap.
No, it's done by Iran. It's done in our factory in Iran.
Okay. And can I buy it in Linz too?
Not done. Another 2 months before we start shipping goods out of Iran in the next couple of months.
Okay. Then I ordered this one. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, lots of things going on in the background, that's for sure. You see, Stephen asks, wanted to ask Mr. Keshe, says, I made the 5-cup star back in 2014 or 15. I think I enhanced myself with it somehow. Is that possible? I think that's what the
What did you
question,
say? Can you repeat the question?
from Stephen or SD here in the chat. Mr. Keshe, I made the 5-cup star back in 2014 or 15. I think I enhanced myself with it somehow. Is that possible?
That's why you're doing it. This is the purpose of these things. This is the purpose of these things.
Said he spent at least 7 or 8 hours in the presence of the star formation. Joseph in the chat says he started to make nitrogen GANs with NaOH and nail powder from animals. What biological sources may I use for phosphor and potassium source for feeding vertical people?
Use their own material.
Create like a compost material or a liquid
Yeah.
fertilizer from the plants themselves.
Yes.
That's what Gianni does. He incorporates plant material, and I think he puts a bit of sodium hydroxide in to help break things down, and prepares a liquid that he also uses to coat his geometric domes.
I have to go.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Great news.
Thank
Thank you for enlightening us, and look forward to the workshop tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.